Hi, Mark Pelley here, Registered Migration Agent at Visas to Australia. Today we're going to be talking about the Subclass 102 Adoption Visa. Now this visa enables the adopted child live with their adopted parents here in Australia. Cost of the visa is $2,665. This visa enables a child who is adopted to move to Australia and live here permanently. They can study, enrol in the Medicare program, and of course, if eligible, apply for Australian citizenship. To be eligible for this visa, you will need to be adopted or in the process of being adopted. You must have been or be in the process of being adopted through an inter-country adoption arrangement involving Australian state or territory central authority. Alternatively, you could be in the process or have been adopted through an inter-country adoption between two countries other than Australia that are both parties to the Hague Convention on the Protection of Children and cooperation in respect to the inter-country adoption, otherwise known as the Hague Adoption Convention. Alternatively, if no Australian state or central territory authority was involved, you can be adopted through an expatriate adoption by an Australian citizen or eligible New Zealand citizen or the holder of an Australian permanent resident that's been living outside Australia, but this person must have been living outside Australia for more than 12 months before the visa application is lodged. The child must be sponsored by an eligible adoptive parent or a prospective adoptive parent. The sponsorship must also be approved. This likely will not occur if the parent or partner of the parent have offences pertaining to children. You must be under 18 at the time of adoption, at the application, and when a decision is made by the department. You need to meet all necessary health and character requirements, repay any debts to the Australian government, and it must be in the best interest of a child to apply. An alternative is a child may be eligible to directly apply for Australian citizenship if the inter-country adoption is finalised outside Australia under the Hague Convention or as part of a recognised bilateral agreement. If the Australian citizenship is granted to the child, then they do not need to apply for this visa if they have an Australian passport. It's important to understand that the Australian government, including the Department of Home Affairs, plays no role in overseas adoption processes. They cannot support or endorse any adoption processes, rather they can only assess individual adoption process applications for the Subclass 102 Adoption Visa. It's important to understand that for a parent to apply for an adoption visa through the expatriate process, they need to have lived in the overseas country for more than 12 months before applying for this visa. It cannot be seen that the parent has moved to the country for the purpose of avoiding inter-country adoption laws. If the adopted child themselves has siblings, then each sibling needs to apply for their own adoption visa individually. If the adopted child has their own children, then they can be included as part of the adoption visa application. It's also important to note that the adoptive parents must have full parental rights. There cannot be any ties with the biological parent and the child. Also, the adoption needs to be in accordance with the laws of the home country. The adoption visa application costs over $2,500 Australian dollars to apply for. You want to get it right first time. This is why we strongly recommend you use a registered migration agent. Failure to do so could extend the visa process quite significantly and delay proceedings. It could cause you to get the visa rejected, by which case you'll end up before the Administrative Appeals Tribunal. Therefore, we recommend to use a registered migration agent. At Visas to Australia, we can certainly help you with all aspects of the document preparation, application processes, written legal submissions, ongoing correspondence, and much more. Give us a call at Visas to Australia. Contact details and links are in the description below.